Can't wait.
But you said, you guys getting the overlooked. The Warriors, distinguished champion only being 500. People might say they won 5 out of 6. So, what kind of challenge do you think you have ahead of them when you face them tomorrow?
Well, their style of play still is there. It's evident. I think the whole league is trying to figure this out right now, and that's why you just can't pay attention, to what everybody's saying on the outside. It's not like there are a bunch of teams that have been playing consistent basketball. There are a handful, and then basically everybody else is trying to figure it out. And Golden State, like us, has had some really good moments where they've looked like every bit of who they've been, and they've had some moments where they're trying to figure it out. We feel like we're in a similar area. They still play an incredibly unique style with Curry and Thompson and all the movement that they have. It's different than your typical spread pick and roll basketball, so you have to be totally locked in and focused. And then that's just a great environment to play there. I think it's a good way to kick off this road trip because you're going to have to play good, consistent basketball all the way through.
To that end, you guys have won 17 of 25 since the start. I know you're not fully figured it out, but you're probably closer to that than trying to figure it out.
I think what we understand a little bit more clearly is what our identity is and what we need to do to win basketball games while we're trying to tighten up our game on both sides of the court. That's not where we want it to be, but you still can find ways to win, while you're building continuity, while you're dealing with lineup changes and guys in and out of the rotation. It's a talent to be able to learn how to win despite circumstances. We're getting a little bit better with that.
So even though he missed a handful of games, Bam is tied for the league in first possession shots. Is there, a lot of times it ends up being a post-touch for him. Is there a reason you like getting him the ball in the scoring position early on?
It's not necessarily all the time that we're running plays for him. I think it's just more of a mentality to try to start establishing inside out. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that will be a post-up for him, so sometimes it's another action. And I think everybody wants to get him involved, including the head coach. It helps us establish a tone for the game, but he's going to get involved regardless of whether it's the first player or not.
You used to do that with CB. Is it a similar philosophy as you did with CB back in the day?
A little bit. With CB, it was different. It was more about, we knew that Dwayne and LeBron would have extremely high usage rates, and you wanted on your ATOs in general and dead ball plays to include CB. That's not really the case with Bam.
What's it going to be like seeing Steve Kerr tomorrow? And as much as you didn't get the result you wanted, what did you sort of take away from having that extended time with Steve?
Totally invaluable. From a life experience and basketball experience, it was incredible. Everything that I had hoped for. Obviously, we wanted to come back, with a gold, but competition is tough. It's tough in the NBA and it's tough in FIBA, and I think that helps you grow. You get humbled, and you have to figure out how to do better, and I'm looking forward to this summer and having that continuity with the staff. I really enjoyed my time with Steve. I had gotten to know him, over the years, particularly when he was doing TV and head coaches meetings. I really admire him. I respect him as a coach. I really like him as a human being, and the entire staff in general. I had a really good time with Ty Lue, and then Mark Few and I. That was like going back to late 80s, early 90s. We go all the way back to West Coast Conference. We knew each other when he was a young coach. He was really just kind of a coach's assistant. Whatever what do they call that role? They don't have it anymore.
Grad assistant.
Yeah, it was even before that. Partial pay, restricted earnings coach. Yeah, and I was just a young player. But that was a really fun staff.
Has it struck you yet that Paris isn't so far away anymore?
Only a little bit. I mean, we're so immersed now. I've texted with Steve a bunch and the staff, but then you know, a little bit less the last 3 weeks as we're all just fully immersed into this. But at least we have the continuity, and we're looking forward to that.
Was there any talk in those times with Steve? Like, you guys, both franchises been in the finals so many times but never crossed up with each other. Was there any what if, like, you guys?
No, not really. Interestingly enough, not really. Just talking about shared experiences of coaching those kind of teams.
Erik,
You know,
Sioux
that part was really fun.
Sioux Falls resumes the schedule tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to send
We
guys
do.
directly?
We're going to get it organized. We kind of want to. We definitely had a plan to send our guys, and we will. I just want to make fully sure. I want to know who's available, who's not, and that we have enough guys with depth to be able to handle, you know, these first couple of games.
Oh, I was going to say, because they're in Santa Cruz tomorrow, might you even send guys after you land today or tomorrow morning?
No,
Okay.
we have to find out who's going to be available. I think that'll take all the way up until game time.
Some of it is about moving parts, but 3-point attempts are lower down this year. Do you see opportunities for more, or are you kind of happy with the shot making?
Contextual. Some games I do, some games I don't. We're shooting a really high clip from there. I mean, obviously we're first in the league. If you're doing something that great, you would like a few more, but we're not going to be one of those teams that's shooting 50 a game by the nature of how aggressive we are. But the spacing is critical. For us to be able to attack the way we want to attack, we do need to keep defenses honest, and we have great shooters. I want them to let it fly.